Okay, I'm back. And oops, I finished all my little feet. They've been um, rub and buffed and shined up. So now they look like little metal feet. They look like little metal bowls. But you see how shiny they get once you do the buffing? Really cool. I did have to, for the little crevice here, which is a very sharp crevice, I went and took my old dried up brush. It dried up with paint on there, and just dipped it into the rub and buff and just kind of pushed it into that crevice and um, managed to get it in there so that not much of the wood is showing. You can see there. But let's see how it looks like metal now. Alright, let me get rid of this gum. Sound like a horse. So now we're going to put the feet on here and make sure that you're putting it on the bottom, not the top, because I've accidentally done that before. And I am just going to use hot glue because it is getting stuck to paper. If I was doing this directly to wood or metal or something like that, I would have used E6000, but this is going straight onto paper, so even if you were to use E6000, you're sticking it only to the paper, you're not actually sticking it to the chipboard, so it could still come off. But you do want to use enough for this. And I always make sure I got my glue sticks, extra ones, because I'm going to use a lot. And put it on here, which, okay, that's better. I'm going to put a lot, and I don't care if it actually seeps out. I'd rather there be extra glue on here and then not enough. And again, make sure it's the right side, and I'm going to put it close to the corner, just leaving a little bit of an edge, and press down, leaving the box that's inside as well to help keep this sturdy so you can press down. Okay, so that's one. You can see that it's not all the way to the edge. Do the other ones. Again, I don't care if it's seeping out. It is something that's clear, so it's no big deal. Two, and then the other two. Okay, so now we have a little dresser. Isn't that cute? And it's almost the same color as this. So I'm going to add my chain now and then figure out how I'm going to decorate the top. And I just want to see how much length I want. I don't want it to overhang too much, so this is going to be not so easy, so that I can show you what I'm doing. So let's see. Let me see. Let me pick up my other one. It is hanging a little bit down further than the rim, so I'm going to go ahead and do that again here and let it hang off. So maybe about there, I think. Okay. And I'm just using these pliers here that have the teeth in them. I don't know what they're called, but they help. Let's see if you can see it. Look at my hands. Oh, my fingers are all nasty. But anyway, those have the feet teeth in them, so it helps grab. And I'm just going to take apart one of the links from my chain. If I could find, there it is. I'm just going to pull it apart or pull it open. It's very soft. Take off the extra piece. And I'm still holding my thing so I can just go ahead and attach it to one of the door knockers. Get that closed. Okay, so that's one side. Now I gotta open the other side. It's already partially open. And I want to make sure that my chain, since it's kind of a flat chain, that it's not twisted and it hangs even. And I just dropped it. I want it to hang straight, you know, so the links are not all twisted up. Okay. So this one's slightly longer than my last one, but I actually like how it's hanging. It's still perfect for pulling. I love that. I actually kind of like it. I didn't mean to do it that way, but I like it. Okay? But if you wanted to, you can always take it off, take off a couple more links and make it shorter. As you can see on my previous one, it was a little bit shorter. But then again, the chain was also thinner. Okay? And I might end up using more chain on this too. So I really like how that looks so far, and now we need to deck it out. I'm going to keep the chain handy because I'll probably be using it again. Put my pliers on one side, and I'll be back because I'm going to stare at this for a couple minutes and see what I want to do to it, okay? I'll be right back. Alright, so I just had a bright idea. Sorry, I was going into my stash of wooden things over here on the left. I'm trying not to get up and look through everything and see what I have because it will just take me longer. So I'm trying to look into my drawers and stuff that are just within my arm's reach. So I have a container full of like wood stuff. And I just recently bought 2 packs of this fence. As you can see, it's like pliable. From Michael's. It was on clearance in the Christmas section where all the miniatures are. So I had a bright idea of making a little fenced-in area, which the idea actually comes from my Halloween one. Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but that was my upstairs neighbors making a ruckus. So the Halloween version, I did a haunted house and I had fence and everything. So you know, that kind of made me think of it, and then I thought, well, why not like a little love garden? So, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do part of it, and then I'm going to add all my hearts and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do, but I don't like this color of the natural wood. And it's very raw wood and very rough. You know, you got to be careful not to get a splinter. I am going to color it. I'm not going to paint it because I don't really want to paint the metal. I just wanted to give it a black look. So I still have this paper left from another project, and I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to spray it with this Glimmer Mist, which is Beetle Black from Tattered Angels. And you see it's a little bit shimmery. It's called Beetle Black. I just get those from my AC Moore. So hopefully it takes, I think it will. Yeah, it does. Okay, let that soak, and I'm going to do the other side. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully one coat is enough. Yeah, so it just kind of stained the red a little darker. It's a lot better than that other color it had. Let's see. This I don't mind. I still don't mind seeing some of the natural wood. So I'm going to wipe this down. I'm going to give it a quick dry with my heat tool. Not too much. Just enough to get it going. And there's a little bit of shimmer on it too, not a lot, just enough. Okay. I think that's enough color on these paper towels. So we're going to start with that, and I'm just going to hot glue this straight down to my box. Like I said, my front is here with the thing pulling out this way, which is to my right, and to you it looks like it's to the left, but it's pulling out on my right. So I'm putting the fencing starting at the back here a little bit off. I don't want it, you know, perfect. And then coming this way and then leaving all this open right here. So let me bend where it needs to get bent. And I'm just going to kind of curve it a little bit and, you know, play with it. I don't want it too perfect. It's supposed to be like a rusty old fence. And a little more. One more. Around there. Okay. Yep. Just go ahead and just do it. You gotta move a little bit fast because the glue will start just dripping. But see how it's dripping there? But at least the wire keeps its shape. You don't have to worry about trying to hold it in place. So there we go. Put this away. Now this is going to give me an opportunity to use a few items that I've never used before. Some little miniature things and some things that I just bought also. When I got this, I got a lot of little miniature pieces. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use it and just make a seam. Okay, so there we go. Now I need to color this too, because this is going to be one of the main pieces, but I want to start with a bigger piece in the back. It's going to be one of my chipboard, and I have to cover that with paper. So let me finish opening this. Back to this Melody Ross heart-shaped chipboard, and I had gotten it for $1.99 at Tuesday Morning. I picked up 2 because I didn't have enough heart-shaped anything. So I want something that's bigger than this heart. And these are very, you know, different shapes too. They're not just regular hearts, but they all have different shapes to them. So what I want to see is, you know, how they're going to lay. I think this one might be a good one here. This is a different shape and even bigger. Or maybe that one. You see how I start looking and seeing what's going to be what. And okay, so we'll start with that. And also color this. I'll color as soon as I know which paper is going on that. And I need to cover both back and front. So let me break out my papers again for my collection. If I didn't mention it, I will be posting the link down below to this kit if you want to create your own little matchbox with this or make something else out of it. Alright. Let's see, which one do I want to use? This is pretty cool because it's got the fence. Maybe this area. It's going to visualize if I do a red heart. I think this would be nice for them. In the back, because the back parts, I'm not covering it, I'm going to do this area here because that would be a nice little scene in the background. Okay. See how things just kind of fall in place for me? So I'm going to do one and then I'm going to do the other one off screen because it's the same technique. My front will be this part here because in front of that I'll be covering with this, and my back will be this area here, which is a scene with some hearts. There's a broken heart. I'm going to use, I have the paper cut out of that black broken heart too, so I think I'm going to use that too. And then an old car, which I might use as well. I have that cut out in my kit. So let me start with this. Again, I'm going to use the same glue, and I'm going to trim my edge first so that I don't get no white areas again. Using a little better scissors this time. Even though this is like a Valentine's thing, I wanted to make it kind of, you know, like a heartbreak Valentine's, since it is called Heartbreak. That's why I'm using these colors. Okay, just need that one side cut. Glue this. And then we're going to color the other heart. And I could really go even further and do 2 layers of paper on my heart and do the curling and ripping, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit simpler since it is a tutorial. I've already done that technique several times. I'm going to try to get a lot of that flower. Sorry. Trying to get a paper towel at the same time. Come on, Zoom. Zoom. There we go. Another reason why I don't like doing these tutorials because my camera doesn't want to focus on anything that doesn't have color in it. I'm just going to rough cut this first. Now when I'm done covering this with paper, I am going to sand my edges down and ink them. Okay, I can't get to that corner. It's time for the blade and the mat. Blade. Which I need a new blade. There we go, that's better. Okay, isn't that pretty? And I get part of this too. So then, once you do both of them, you take a file, any file. I use sometimes my little nail files that come with my little nail kits that I buy. Or these here, these are getting nice and rough, but you take and sand it down and make it nice and smooth, and removes all the excess, and it just smooths it out in case there's any areas that didn't cut too well. And then you ink it, and ink also this part too. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to finish the back and do all of that and ink it, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back with my first hearts, and there's the back. It's all been inked. It's been sanded first and inked. That's my front. You could take it further, turn this into a large tile by putting your glossy accents all over this, or just glossy accents certain areas. Put some glitter, but I like the way it is right now, just like that. And it's going to sit here, and I'm going to use the fence to help prop it up. As you can see, it's kind of in between two of the, what do you call these, well, you know what it is. And you can still see the car. It's really cool, actually. So I'm going to put that in first before I continue. I'm going to end up coloring my heart here. So let's get this. I'm going to zoom out because I see that I keep getting off camera. So just some on the very bottom, and some here. It's going to drip down. And then a little bit I'm going to do on this back one here, right on the fence, and see if I can get it to attach to my heart right there. So just hold on to it until it sticks. It's still drying. Another thing you could have just done is gone ahead and just done a frame on top of this, or you know, just do other kind of things. This is just what I came up with. So I think it's down. So it's kind of held down on the bottom corner here in a little point, a little spot of glue here, and it's also being propped in between two of these wooden, I guess you're called planks maybe. And then a little dab here just holding this back, and you can still see the seam. Alright. So I'm going to put this aside for now and get back to work on this. And I think I want a black heart. since it is supposed to be heartbreak, I'm going to do a black heart and hope that this works on this type of material. We will see. I do have more of these hearts though in case it doesn't work. It may or may not. I don't know. It's the first time I'm doing this with this material here. So let me try to get these edges here. Okay, I don't want to dab any off. I'm going to see if I could just dry it, and hopefully it'll stay that black. We shall see. Looks like it's drying. Okay, I'm going to have to let it air dry a little bit. But I think it'll work. It is getting a little soft, so I'm going to have to let it air dry so it can harden again. Now, let me just spritz it again. Here. Again, this is made out of, what is it? What did I say this was made out of? Gum paste. So, you know, I'm putting heat on it, so it's going to soften. It's actually getting hard again, so. But I think we'll be okay once this dries up. And I need to do the back too. So I'm going to let that dry while I pull out some more of the goodies that I'm going to use for this project. So I shall return.